What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. But we just smashed some Red Bulls and we've got our cameras ready, so yeah, let's hit the road. Oh shit, bro. Dude. Bro, can you get my bike? Yeah, man, I got you, bro. Dude, are you good?
What's up, gang? We're back with Frizz and YT's crash. Yeah, well, we're with Frizz and YT and is watching his crash video. I'm reacting to it, so
How long has it been since you watched it?
It's been a minute. I watched it when you uploaded it, so kind of recently, but
yeah, okay.
I only watched like a little bits and pieces, so I haven't watched the full thing.
Okay,
It's been a while. Like, yeah, what?
Okay, cool.
A month, probably more.
Yeah, it's been like 2 months.
It's been a while since you crashed.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, legit. It feels like yesterday, man. Like, I still see it through my head.
Just flashbacks.
Literally. It's yeah, kind of mad. Anyway, let's get through this.
Feel free to like pause it
yeah,
or skip through it if you want.
Alright.
So this is my point of view.
So yeah, we'll jump through to this part that I want to talk about. So pretty much we're coming up to here. This is like, if anyone knows this road, big straight into a couple right-hander and then a big hairpin. This is also like, I'll pause it in a second, but this is interesting to note as well. This corner here is a little bit like tricky. For people who ride the road, they'll know this is like a double apex. Oh, why did I have a New Zealand accent? A double apex hairpin. So you kind of like cut in and then you go wide a bit and then you cut in the back a bit more towards the end of the corner. But the end is like, you can't see through it for a long time. You can't see where the corner exits, so it's a little bit deceiving. But I've ridden this a lot. Especially, I always know that for this corner you gotta be careful. And it's a bit tricky, so with cold tires especially, like, you gotta be like, focused 100%. So this is where shit hits the fan for me, and I kind of like, when I watch this, like when I watched it in real life happen out, I kind of wish I said more. In hindsight, obviously, like, you can't really do much, but like,
yeah, I
kind of wish I was like a bit more like oi, because this is your boy ripping it up on the corner, because I kind of know this road.
I do not know
and like, I knew like my tires were warm. I know how my bike handles and how it feels, so I was very prepared for this corner. And then when I saw Frizz like overshoot, I was just like, damn. I was like, I didn't want this to be like the start of the morning, but I was just like, all right, no, it's all right, switch on. And I said, okay, you can't hear it, but I was like, good morning, like as in like wake up call. This is it, let's go. But yeah, pretty much like, it's what comes after is like you, and this is where like, when you're talking about yours, if anyone's seen that Frizz's full video, talking about like his mirrors are tucked in, can't really see me behind. But I was like, when we watched my POV, I was like struggling to keep up with you, because I kind of like, I wasn't going as hard, but I was still like trying to keep up. But yeah, you were like ripping it up here. And this is like, it's a good road to rip, but like, it's also pretty sketchy, evident from the bike like bouncing around a lot on the road. This one here as well, this is another one where like lane positioning coming into the corner is pretty important. And it's like, it's nothing to like beat yourself about. And I think when people comment on your video being like, oh dude, you know, why'd you post your crash video, blah blah blah,
I had like
BS. I think it's dumb, because it's like, bro, as like influencers, what some people might call us, people who create content and we like post, and I did this as well when I crashed, but you post like your video and like how you've learnt from it and the mistakes that you can, well, that you've made, and you understand what you've done, and then you can move on. And especially for what we do in our line, teach people what they can do. And I think Frizz did a great job of that, but a lot of people, well, not a lot, I saw a lot of comments where people just like shitting on it. I'm like, man, that ain't it. But this is another corner, yeah, where lane positioning, speed coming to the corner, a lot of things, a lot of factors come into play where, yeah,
off.
And especially like all, and it's kind of sucks if you watch the crash, like the clipped crash, you can see like, you'd be like, how would you make the mistake? That's like ridiculous, right? That's a really dumb error to make.
Because I feel like it's like related to your crash as well.
Yes.
Like you had a lot of comments with yours being like, dude,
yeah,
why didn't you just turn?
Yeah, they're like, oh, why don't you turn into the corner? Like the wide angle on the GoPro just didn't help at all, because it made it look like it was a really easy corner, but in reality, in person it was a lot tighter, and I was just not focused. I wasn't 100%, and as soon as I looked off the road, I got like target fixated and was just like, but it's just, yeah, lessons that you make, mistakes that you make, but ultimately if you learn from them and move on, I think that's the best thing you can do, especially if you're creating content for other people. Like, we get like a lot of new riders, especially experienced riders as well, but a lot of new riders coming in, following us.
Because we ride like beginner bikes. We ride like the mid like entry level bikes, like, because I started on an MT, like you started on a 300, but I started like just on a MT-07 and then I jumped to the R7, so it's basically the same bike, but with sport fairings. So
yeah, we ride those kind of bikes, and then people are like, oh, well, anyone can get their license and then get one of these bikes.
Yeah.
So like, and it's a very different, when we've had a lot of seat time on these bikes riding. I mean, especially for me, like I've been riding for 2.5 years and I've clocked up a stupid amount of Ks on the bikes that I've owned, just because I love riding, and it's awesome. But it's like,
these crashes fucking suck though.
Oh,
like
100%.
When it happens, like I feel like you've put on so much more seat time in the time that I've been off the seat.
Yeah.
Like I've been off the seat so much that like even then coming back, because this was like I was off the seat from my first like incident, and then I came back and then I was getting back into it.
Yeah.
And then everything was like really good because I don't know, I was just like cruising and like really getting back into things.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and then now I have to like restart all over again. That's why like in my crash video I sounded like so defeated, and like I said I wanted to give up.
That was what like hurt me the most, and we'll get to the clip, but it's like, man, that was like, that hurt me the most when you're like, man, I want to give up, and I'm like, nah, bro.
Yeah, because like just fucking so much money, bro. So much money and time.
It's a huge, especially when you're trying to do like content full time.
When
it's a huge investment, and then as soon as you, and I did the same thing when I like binned my bike. I was just like, man, that was 3 months of like just, I couldn't do anything. I was trying to go out and do stuff. I had like,
and I remember I came over, like gave you my bike a couple times just to like feel like just to feel it again.
Yeah, and that was like I got to take that out. I literally rode this road on a weekday. I took the bike out. I'm like, man, it was just awesome to be
with
back.
my R7.
Yeah,
I think I remember. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was so much fun. It was just like awesome just to be back, and like even though I wasn't like riding hard, I was just on the bike, and it was just like,
I think not having the money like from a beginner's point of view, like it sucks because like you'll get like comments being like, dude, just like take it to track, like do it at track, but then like
it's in itself like a track day isn't really expensive, but then when you factor in, you know, you're servicing your bike before and after, you're getting or if not have good tires that you're burning a lot of rubber on.
There's all these things that come into
a lot of other factors. Like it's the whole perception of like motorbikes are cheap speed, you know, they're cheap transportation is true, but then once you get to a point when you just like beyond transporting to and from work, to your daily commute, whatever you use your bike for, like the price adds up. And then when you get good at your bike, like I had a 300 and then I was like, look, I want something faster because I'm getting better, got an MT-07, and then I upgraded my license, and then I'm like, well, I can get a bigger bike now. I'm like, I've outridden my bike, my MT-07, so I got a bigger bike, and then it all just like keeps on adding up. So but it's like, it's part of the hobby, and like
part of the fun, but yeah,
and the crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Fuck!
And the thing that I hate about like this is when you're like, oh, I can get my bike. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I did go down to your bike, but I was just like, no, I have to make sure the bro's okay. Like it's, because I've seen people crash. I've been the one who's crashed. It's the worst thing. And even when you're like, oh, you don't make sure my bike's okay, blah, blah, it's like, bro, nah, fuck the bike. Like the bike's replaceable at the end of the day. Man, the bro isn't. Yeah, not for real though. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and I don't know if this was like, you did brush on it like quite a bit, but the whole emphasis on like the crash was more just like a lot of contributing factors that led up to this point. With the clipped crash, it looks like a really dumb like rookie mistake, but there's a lot of things that led to why Frizen crashed, and that was like, you've already explained it like a million times, but it's just like,
yeah, no, dude, I get people saying like I'm milking the fuck out of it, but oh well, whatever.
And I think that's all just BS. Like you should, as I said already, like you should push your crash content and go, you know, this is what I've done, this is how I can learn from it, I'm gonna get better as a rider, and it's just all experience, man. Like it's part of the sport. You crash, you go down, you get back up. It's how you get back up.
True.
Yeah, man, bigger, better, always.
Camera overheated, we're back. Where were we at? Just
my point of view.
Your point of view?
Yeah, man.
Continue.
So what we're doing here, this is not like uncommon, but it's just like, it's, I guess, especially for this scenario where like it's cold out, you want grip because you want to hit corners hard, you warm up your tires. It's not like, yeah, it's, I guess it's like, I don't know, it's, you see people do it, you see people don't. You can warm up your tires just by hitting corners slowly, or you can do this to warm up quicker. But I typically always do this. It's good practice, I guess. It just helps me know that like my tires are warm so I can start going. And that'll help, I guess kind of here. Did you really like slip out much on this corner, or did you just overshoot it because you're going too quick?
I definitely just overshot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah.
Did we watch this already?
No,
Or did we just
not
watch
mine, yours.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like I'm leaning pretty hard. I'm scraping peg because like I know my tires are warm. So I can...
Good morning.
And that's it, yeah. And this is like, yeah, said in your point of view, but like hindsight, obviously, like I kind of wish I said more to be like, man, like switch on, like
Sorry, next
get
time
your head in the game. Yeah, definitely. And it's like, obviously I didn't know that you want to crash, so I just thought like, you know, happens. That was just like a mental trigger to be like, all right, game time, let's keep them going.
Like at this point here, I'm starting to like...
Yeah, I'm like struggling to keep up because like I'm pushing pretty hard, but I know like I can't like push crazy hard, just because like, yeah, you can't like overextend, push my limits too hard. There could be rubbish on the road, even though there's someone in front of me. Like you still got to like take it as if you're hitting the corner for the first time, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think the skill difference as well is like kind of there. Like I've got a lot more seat time than you, so you can kind of see me like, and this is like early when I started getting more off the, like my body more off the bike. It kind of helps a lot, and then yeah, you scrape peg heaps doing it, but and they get it easier to anyway. This corner, yeah, this is, and I also said like lane positioning and stuff. You can see Frizen's like pretty tight in. If you're going slow, like your lane positioning doesn't really matter too much, but oh yeah, why did I point? And the people can't see that. Yeah.
So this is me coming over there, and then this is him there.
And just a disclaimer as well, like I'm not a street Rossi, MotoGP rider enthusiast. I just have like a decent amount of seat time, and like I've grown up playing a lot of racing games, so like I've got a pretty good idea of like lines that you should be taking, and obviously that can translate into motorbike riding as well, and you get taught.
The only type of racing games I played was GTA.
Yeah, that's not right. Yeah, but like you kind of like, well, for my course anyway, I'm pretty sure this is pretty universal, but like you get taught how to hit an apex just because it's like the safest way to corner pretty much on a motorcycle, just by like going wide out and then cutting into the center of the corner when you kind of, or cutting to the inside of the corner when you're in the center of the corner, and then once you're like seeing the exit of the corner, then you roll out. But yeah, so you can see like,
I think that's something definitely like I noticed, like I learned way more, like because I've watched this video, like I've watched your point of view and then my point of view, and like 50s, and I haven't really seen an RS, but like yeah, just like going back and forth between your lines and then my lines, like knowing what I could do better, I guess. Like it's sort of physically taught me like in real time, like how I can,
yeah,
I don't know, improve.
Yeah. And again, like obviously I'm not the best, like I still have a lot of room to improve. I haven't done a full track day or anything yet, like I've still got a lot to go, but it's like kind of simple things like this that
Small things, yeah.
you implement, like small habits while you're on the street, so that if you want to like ride and have fun, obviously within the limits of the law, yeah, you kind of like, it helps to like be smart about how you ride, so that if you do make mistakes, you have time, or you're in a good position. Because that's, for me as well, when I crashed, like I was in really poor lane position. I was pushing myself too hard, and I had like cold tires, and I hadn't warmed up on that road yet, so it was like a lot of contributing factors. But yeah, I definitely can see that I've grown a lot since, like, that was what, July?
Your crash?
Yeah, last year, June,
yeah.
July last year, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ages ago, and I've definitely, like, I feel like I've gotten a lot better as a rider.
Yeah, I can definitely see it, yeah.
But yeah, kind of going wide, and then I, yeah, pull in.
It's like, it's interesting to think though, it's like literally like, because we've been riding for like, what, 2 years, and like, I guess you could say you've improved and I've improved, well, yeah, anyway, but like...
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously, because like...
No, but like,
yeah,
I'm
like,
thinking like long-term, like lifetime worth of riding though, like if you want to like be in this hobby for like a lifetime, and not just like, I'm sorry, 15 and Ari, but like not just jump straight to like a leader bike or whatever, like straight after getting a, because it's like we over here in like Australia, like you have like your license restrictions where you can only, and it's the same in like the UK or I think Europe maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the A1 and the A2 license, where like they restrict you, which is like in hindsight it is a good thing because like it lowers like the power that you have so that you learn to really push the bike that you have to the limit and then move up in scale. Whereas like over in the States, you can just jump straight on a leader bike.
I'm pretty sure, you can just jump on a leader bike.
And that's how there's like so many
but there's still like the general like, oh, you know, start on a small bike, start on a 600, even though 600, like I'm on a 600 Super Sport now and they're stupid fast. Like it's not, like you can learn to ride on it, but you can. And, like I've had like past, like I grew up riding dirt bikes and stuff, so like I've had past experience riding motorbikes, so like that translates obviously, but street riding is so different to dirt riding. But
you definitely can. It's just you need to be patient.
Yeah.
A lot more patient and not being able to like wanna keep up, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, and obviously like for the kind of riding that we do, especially like where our country is, there's highways and stuff, but like a lot of it is corners, and for us as well, and me especially, I love doing twisties, and that's why I want to get more into track days, get more involved in that kind of scene, because it's way more enjoyable riding for me than just going in a straight line going fast. That's fun, but there's so much more technical aspects to riding corners.
Plus it's like the feeling as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, nice sunrise day for it. For real, straight up, and dead. The thing that I was like thinking about after this as well is like when Frizen goes down is like if we went on comms and if I was probably like a second or 2 seconds behind, bro, I would not see him. I'd just keep on going. That's the scariest thing is like, bro, if he was injured way worse than what he was, like thankfully, bro, walked away with nothing. Like that was crazy, but like
because I was in the hospital for like couple hours while you guys were like at the top at the cafe,
bro, just vibing, just like stressing.
Like, but I was in there and then I went home and
and we met him at home and it was pretty very fortunate, like especially for me, man. Like,
it was weird because like Caleb as well had just crashed and he broke his collarbone and something else, I don't know,
just his collarbone. I think he was like bruised and like banged up, but like you for that, especially this crash could have gone so much worse. We'll play it out from my point of view if you haven't seen it already.
Good. Oh fuck, bro, you good?
In the bin. And it's funny, like I turned my hazards on in this clip and then turned my bike off, so then the hazards turned off. So I'm like, some idiot.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed that when I first watched it. I'm like, bro, what the heck? But yeah, could have. Yeah, and even still, when people are like, oh, wear your gear, it's like, bro, yeah, a jacket still wouldn't save you if you whacked your back on that and just broke your spine. Like, obviously, you know, good practice ride with your gear, but yeah, it's still like, yeah, very fortunate that you walked away from this one. Yeah, pretty crazy, honestly. But just glad you're okay, man. No, like honestly, like jokes aside, like pretty like it's kind of scary. Like, you know, you could have lost a mate that day, so it's like,
thanks, man.
Fortunate that you're still here, man.
We get to ride another day.
100%, man. Live to ride another day. It's yeah, man. Just glad you're okay.
Thanks, bro.
For real. Well, it's been real, lads.